Hi there, and well done for making it to part 3 of this how to create a kick-ass marketing plan that really works video series. Now, we've covered a hell of a lot of ground in videos 1 and 2, particularly in the first one. And again, I'm going to say it, I'm going to repeat it. You need to make sure you get those basics in place, the fundamentals right, before you get onto video 2, and also then this final part where we actually start to do a detailed plan of action for your marketing. So I hope you've managed to, get your ABCs into place, work out what kind of things you're saying to whom and how you're going to get that across. I hope you've managed to spend some time working on your list of marketing channels, the way you're going to get this message across. How are you going to reach these potential customers? Somewhere between 6 and 12 is ideal, but it depends on, how many you think you can manage, whether you can get help, and what you think you can get particularly good at, but especially where it is that your clients hang out. And then I hope you managed to put your list onto your quarterly, your quadrants here, the dailies, the weeklies, the monthlies, the quarterlies, etc. And I hope you've had some time and spent some time thinking about how you're going to plan it all out. So what we're going to do is now we're going to take this and do something slightly different with it, because this is great, but it doesn't actually give you a schedule of work to get stuff done. It's a guideline for when things are going. I mean, daily is fairly self-explanatory. You do it every day. Weekly, okay, well, how do you schedule this all in? And the same with monthly and the same with quarterly. So now we're going to put all of what you've done in here. So your list of things that you can do goes into here. Your activities all go in here. And now we're going to put it into something else. We're going to put it into this. You think, okay, that's a calendar, and I printed it off. Yes, I have. But the point of this calendar is that it tells me what I'm doing and when. So I have my list of activities that I wanted to do. I put them into the daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly chart. And now from the daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly quadrants, I'm putting it into here. And the point of this is so that I know every day what it is I'm going to do. And I typically write this at the beginning of the month. So the whole month is planned out. Well, actually, I write this at the end of the previous month. So I know what I'm going to do and when, apart from the daily social media stuff, which, to be honest, I schedule out using Hootsuite anyway, so I don't actually have to physically go in and decide what I'm going to do. I spend an hour on Monday morning scheduling out my social media for the week, and it works an absolute treat. So all I have to do is go in once a day just to see if I've had any messages, updates, people have shared it or retweeted, etc. I always try and thank people who retweet my stuff. But this is where it's at. The journey goes from understanding your ABCs, working out who you're selling to, what you're saying to them, and where you're going to reach them. Then it goes into understanding the messages, clarity, etc., working out all of those things that we went through in video 1. Next, it goes into creating a list of marketing activities that you can do to reach your target market, based on the channels that you've worked out in the first part. Then you put that list of things that you can do into your quadrants, and now your quadrants go into here. Now, it sounds like a lot of work, but the thing is, your quadrants only need to be examined once every few months, once a quarter, etc. So just to have a look at things that are working or not working, etc. But that needs to be done regularly anyhow. But the point is this: monitor what you're doing and adjust. Monitor regularly. Ideally, things like Google Analytics and pay-per-click stuff, you need to analyze it weekly, if not every 3 days. Okay, but stuff like your blogging, stuff like podcasting, video marketing, you only need to look at it once a month, maybe even once a quarter. But here's where it's at. This is the bit that tells you what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and to what extent. So, to be honest, this really is the crux of it. Because if you don't have something like this, now this is September 2020, I prefer to print and write it out. I keep it on my desk, and it's the first thing I see when I get to my desk every single morning, because the marketing is the first thing I do. Before I switch on the phone, before I switch on my email, I always get it done first. Because if you're like me, when you get into the flow of your work, your marketing takes a back seat. You get it done when you get round to it, and round to it are very, very rare. So I urge you, get this stuff done. first thing in the morning. Leave off your phone, leave off your email. In fact, if you can avoid it, don't even switch off your computer, but definitely no email, no social media, unless that's what you're doing, and no phone. Because if you do that, if you switch it all on, you'll get distracted, and the chances of you coming back to this plummet. Promise you, they just go right down. So your marketing activity, the getting and keeping customers bit, needs to be the number one activity every day. Now, I'm not saying you need to spend an hour and a half or 2 hours a day, even just 20, 30 minutes over time will mean that you're out marketing well over 80% of your competitors. Because it's, as I said in the first video, it's the being consistent that counts. It's being there day in, day out, week in, week out, in front of your marketplace, in front of your potential customers, with the right messages sent in the right way, using the right channel. But it's that being consistent, and this is where the being consistent happens. So I'm just going to talk you through this. You write your own. This is the great thing about it. It's entirely up to you. You can be flexible with this. You can write it however you want, put whatever you want in here. Now, one of the things I haven't included in here is networking. At the moment, in late summer 2020, there's a lockdown going on. We can't go to physical events, so there's an awful lot of online networking, and I'm taking part in roughly 2 or 3 a month. So I don't tend to put those on here because I see those as part of my working day anyway, but it is actually a marketing activity, and you could include it on here if it's a marketing activity that you deem as to be a top one. So put it on here. So let me just talk you through what I have, and this is me for Smashing Self-Employment. At the moment, the mission is all about creating content and all about developing the membership system for go live in a couple of months' time. So Mondays, almost always videos. But what I haven't put in there is that I schedule out the social media for the week, which takes me anywhere between half an hour and 45 minutes-ish. The video on a Monday morning typically takes me 10 minutes to record and then around 20 to 30 minutes to edit and publish onto YouTube. Tuesdays is one of a variety of things. At the moment, I'm creating this video course, but that will be development of membership. So that when I've done this and published it, this 3-part video course, then I go on to putting it into a system, putting it into workflow, putting it into the website, and then working on the website to develop the content and the membership. Wednesdays are typically podcast day. I like doing podcasts, and they go out on a Wednesdays typically, and also sending out emails to the group. So we send out an email twice a month to the Smashing Self-Employment database, and if you've downloaded this, you'll be on the database until you unsubscribe. So you will get an email from us at least every other week. Thursdays is another video or another content item depending on what's going on. Like I said, right now it's all about creating content for you guys in the self-employed world where you can get to grips with getting stuff done, getting more customers, and making your own life a lot easier and more productive. And finally is blogging. I do some kind of blogging or some kind of promotion of the blog on Fridays, but it's also a bit of a flexible day because we've got a lot of blog content already, so I kind of keep that flexible to do other stuff if necessary. So the videos that I've created often end up editing and publishing on a Friday, but I always do some kind of promotion of the website on a Friday, often based around the blog. Now that's my, for the moment, Smashing Self-Employment calendar of activities within my marketing plan. Now, yours will be different. So, whatever it is you do pay-per-click ads, then of course you'll be looking at that a couple of times a week. If you do go to events, if you do cold calling, telesales for example, that will go in there as well. If you go to a weekly networking event, like your BNIs and other stuff like that, then that will go in there as well. But remember to include the follow-up from that in your marketing activities. But however you shape it, you could be sending out a weekly email, and if you do retail, I strongly suggest that you do, like an e-commerce website, or you own a small shop. So it's entirely up to you how you write this, but it always boils back down to the activities that you wrote on that list from the last video, your quadrant schedule, what's weekly, daily, monthly, etc., and then putting it onto your daily activity list. Now, the best thing about that is that if you write it down and have it in a schedule and you have it in front of you, then you're more likely to get it done. Now, one of the reasons I have it on paper is that I don't have to switch on my email, because I use Google Calendar, I don't have to switch on the G Suite, the Google Suite, to access it. Because then that's the temptation is to switch on my email and just start cracking away at emails, and before you know it, hour and a half is gone, think, oh my God, I should have done some marketing. That is so common. So don't do it. Print it out, put it on a bit of paper. I promise you I always recycle the bits of paper. So it gives you a much, much higher chance of getting stuff done. So there it is. You really, if you've gone through all of those steps and done all that work and put it all into your daily plan, then you have completed a strategic marketing plan that I promise you will make such a massive difference. And it won't necessarily make a massive difference because you're doing anything different from your competition. The big difference is that you'll be more consistent than well over 80% of your competitors. You're going to be putting out more blog posts. You're going to be sending out more emails. You're going to be more consistent social media. You're going to be, if you're doing video, doing it more than everybody else. I swear, do video. It's amazing. I've got a video on our YouTube channel so why you should be using YouTube. And I came up with only 8 reasons. There's loads more. So do video like this. You don't have to stand in front of a camera. There are loads of ways around it. But the key thing is to be more consistent. And this strategic plan, this kick-ass marketing plan, is nothing that no one else could do. But the fact is, so few people genuinely do properly schedule, properly plan their marketing. Even bigger businesses, multi-million-pound businesses, often don't plan their marketing particularly well. So you are standing head and shoulders above, like I said, well over 80% of the small business community. Blogging, for example, fewer than 1 in 5 small businesses in the self-employed will blog. I reckon maybe 1 in 50 self-employed people do any kind of YouTube activity. But YouTube is fantastic. Facebook, loads and loads of people bung stuff on Facebook. But Facebook ads, at the moment, are dirt cheap. But fewer than 1 in 50 small businesses even contemplate it. So there were so many opportunities to do better than your competition. But the key thing is to write a plan. If you plan your work and work your plan, I promise you it will make a difference. Now, every one of our clients we've shown this to has been amazed at the simplicity of it. Well, I say simple, but not easy, because you've got a lot of thinking to do about your ABC, the channels, etc., particularly, and then putting all that lot together, put it into a plan. But once you get to grips with this, and once our clients got to grips with this, the results are amazing. Like I said early on, this plan, and we didn't get this specific structure from anyone else, we developed it ourselves. This plan enabled me to double the sales in my web design business in less than 9 months. That's right, we doubled the size of our business in less than 9 months, purely on the strength of this marketing plan. And it's like I said, it's not that I'm doing anything different to everybody else or nothing that no one else could do. It's just that I have discovered that being more consistent is actually better than being amazing and doing it less frequently. The irony is, you can put out mediocre stuff, but if you're consistent, your message will eventually get across. I'm not encouraging you to be mediocre. You always want to be the best that you can be. But the thing is to get it done, and this plan helps you to get it done. So the caveats are, you need to do your marketing at the beginning of every single day without fail, unless you're on holiday, in which case, have a darn holiday. You need to make sure that you're reaching the right people. You need to make sure that you're consistent. And you need to make sure that you're constantly analysing the results of what you do. I say constantly. I mean, you can look at stuff once a week, once a fortnight, even as late as once a month. And if it isn't working, change it. If it genuinely isn't working after you've changed it a few times, consider dumping it in favour of something else. So, there we have it. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Please let us know if you have any questions or comments or there's stuff that you'd like us to give more content on. Check out the YouTube channel. There is absolutely loads on there, and it's a growing body of work. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the podcast, check out the blogs, follow us on Twitter. We're all over the place. The key thing is our mission is to help you get more customers, get more done, and be your own best boss when you're self-employed. So, we've got some downloads scattered about the videos. I will put some links for you to find various resources to support this. But other than that, that's it. Go and create your plan. Go and put your plan into action. And I promise you the results will surprise you. So that's it from me. I really appreciate you tuning in. Thanks a lot. And bye for now.